Hey guys, it's John and welcome to the free video. And of course tomorrow is monthly expiration. We've got a couple of interesting things here. First of all, typically, and of course the market's going to do whatever it wants, right? But typically we get a grind higher into monthly expiration. So that's what I'm looking for. A lot of the trades that we have on right now, that's kind of what they're positioned for. Kind of slow grinds up in stocks like Priceline.com, i.e. Booking, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of, just chop, 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 not looking for any big moves. And then also keep in mind that we do have a weekly squeeze developing here on the NASDAQ. We are a little extended, so it would make sense to me that next week we actually, after expiration, we actually come back down and kiss that 8 EMA goodbye, or at least test it one more time before we kind of launch higher. I mean, of course we're seeing stock, like the IWM here is busting out in a big way and hasn't even fired a squeeze yet, being led in large part by energy stocks. All right, so a lot of good stuff there. And then one of our favorite long-term holdings here is Costco. We're starting to see a nice breakout today to new all-time highs. Got a weekly squeeze developing. Daily squeeze momentum is shifting here, and we are looking at just kind of this 205-ish level plus as a target. And I'll talk a little bit more about kind of some of the tools and things like that that I like to use to figure out targets. When do you get out of this trade? Is this high it? Is that all she wrote, or are we looking for more? And it's important to kind of have those kind of tools, but we'll kind of take a look at that. And then from there, the only other thing, of course, I like to keep an eye on is the skew, is to kind of see where it is. And this kind of does line up with the idea that we should, after tomorrow, just be careful with longs. The skew is at a point where it's calling for a pullback. So, when it's higher like this, boom, higher like this, boom. So we're in that zone, and we just want to be careful. So if you have longs, this isn't the place to load up on new longs, but if you have longs, take some chips off the table and trail up that stop. All right, so that's what we got there. So in terms of targets, one of the things I have found is that stocks actually have kind of different personalities and almost cycles, different personalities depending on where they are kind of in their cycle. So, here you can see more of a thrust, and then, here it's kind of quiet. Here we get a squeeze, which I like. And when there's a squeeze, I actually typically am looking for a move, from the swing low to the swing high to at least the 1272 extension, if not the 1618. And you can see in this case, it kind of petered out early. And so a tool that we figured out is a way to kind of measure based on kind of the cycle of where the stock is. And so this is, it's unique to each stock. It's kind of, each stock has its own kind of mood imprint, is to essentially the target it's likely to go to with a buy signal. So in this case, you can see it petered out. It did break to new all-time highs. But normally, when we're looking for at least the 1272 extension, we didn't even get close to that. And what really sucks is you get into a trade like this, you're thinking, oh boy, the 1272 extension, here I come, and you've got options, and it comes up, and it doesn't. This thing got to, got within like $5, and then rolled over and died. Fell $20 a share. And if you've got options on that, it can really destroy it. However, this tool was telling us in advance, like, hey, we're not going to be able to go above this, all right? We're not going to be able to go above this. In this case, we're not going to be able to go above this. So the question is like, if you guys are familiar with 1272 and 1618 extensions, what's interesting about this is that, when you get a squeeze, yeah, sometimes they will slam into that, but then it's really weird because sometimes they won't. And guess what? The times that they don't is because when this happens. Now, on the other hand, if we look at Costco, so Costco here has a squeeze, has a similar setup, right? But when you look at Costco, these bands, they're actually in between the 127 and 1618 extension. So guess what? Costco, although NVIDIA, when the squeeze fired, failed to get anywhere near its 127 and 1618, Costco actually has a very high probability of getting up there, because in this case the cycle that the stock is in and the personality of the stock, based on the cycle where it's in, is now projected to be able to get up there. All right, so it's a real handy tool for this kind of stuff. And then another tool that I've been playing around with, which has been fun, is kind of projecting by time frame the momentum. So right now on the 20-minute chart through the monthly chart, Costco is rocking on all cylinders, but it sold off a little bit into the close. And so what I'd be looking for, example for tomorrow is like, all right, let's get these 1 and 2 minute and 3 minute charts to turn. And then that means when those start turning in alignment with these bigger time frames, these other ones will take shape, and you can just, just kind of rock and roll with that as well. All right, so I'm going to do a free webinar about all of this stuff, and we're going to be talking about, I call it's dynamic profit targets. If you go to simplertrading.com/targets, it'll take you to this registration page. This is for a free webinar next Thursday, May 24th. We're going to be talking about how to catch the biggest turning points in real time, how to know exactly when to exit with maximum gains. And when I say maximum gains, okay, this is something that is a huge aha moment for me. It's maximum gains based on that stock, the personality of that stock, and in the cycle it's in at the moment. So as we saw, NVIDIA, which has been a big winner in the past, that last buy signal, the maximum gains on that were actually pretty paltry, but at least we knew in advance. Okay, whereas Costco, the maximum gains on it could actually be fairly significant based on the reading that we're getting on essentially where it is in its current cycle stage. All right, so huge implications there in terms of being able to manage these trades effectively and more consistently. As opposed to the rubber stamped, okay, every time something happens, we're going to the 1618. It's actually setting up an appropriate target for that stock based on the personality and its cycle that it's in at that moment in time, okay, without having to guess. So that's essentially like that one-size-fits-all, why that can burn your account. How to get in earlier on explosive moves with confidence, the simple exit rule that can generate easy money, how to rapidly grow a smaller account part-time, and we've talked about that stuff. So I'm excited about this stuff. This is all kind of stuff that just in talking to everybody at our live event, the same kind of questions and came up over and over again. It's like, gosh, my trading would just get so much better if I could just do this, this, and this. And so anyway, I think you're going to enjoy this, and I'm very much looking forward to it. All right, you guys have a good one. And again, just you can register here, free webinar, May 24th at 7 o'clock Central.